Hi guys, it's Amy from Amy Bakes Bread. I'm sharing with you today my Irish sourdough discard soda bread. This is such a quick and easy discard recipe. It's kind of like a big biscuit, but it tastes delicious. I add a little bit of zest, a little bit of currants, and it really gives that pop of flavor. You don't have to add those in if you don't want to. We love it that way, and it's just a really quick, simple way to use up some sourdough discard that tastes delicious. Start by mixing together your egg, your sourdough discard, and the buttermilk. Now, if you don't have buttermilk, you can use a combination of sour cream or Greek yogurt and milk, and you just whisk that together and let it sit. That is the best substitute that I found. But I do recommend using buttermilk. There's quite a bit of it in this recipe. So you're just going to whisk together all of those wet ingredients and set them aside. To a separate bowl, you'll add your flour, granulated sugar, salt, some baking powder, some baking soda, and whisk that together. And then I toss in some currants. Now, these are a lot smaller than raisins, so you could sub raisins if you want to, but I absolutely love the flavor that currants bring, and the size is perfect, I think, for a little bite of this Irish soda bread. At this point, you can also zest in some lemon or orange. I kind of really like the orange. Both are good though. Or you could even leave out the currants, leave out the orange if you don't want a little sweeter soda bread. Just fluff them together with a fork until everything is completely combined. Then you're going to grate up some cold butter. Now, this is chilled cold butter. You could even use frozen butter if you freeze it ahead of time. I just grate it up really quickly, and you're going to toss it right into this flour mixture. This is the same process that I use for adding butter to a loaf of sourdough. If you've ever tried my sourdough croissant loaf, toss it right into this flour mixture. I also use this method for scones. It's a really great way to get little buttery flakes all throughout your biscuit dough, which is kind of what this is a big biscuit, this Irish soda bread. So just get the butter evenly incorporated. And once you've done that, you're going to pour in the liquid mixture. Now remember, this has the discard, the egg, the buttermilk. It's already been whisked up. And you're going to just gently mix it together until it forms kind of a ball of dough. If it is a little bit too sticky, you can add a little bit of extra flour. If you feel like it is not coming together, go ahead and add a little bit extra liquid, so a little extra buttermilk in that case. So you want to be kind of gentle here, use gentle hands as you are mixing the dough together, but you do need it to form a ball, so you don't need to be too gentle. Go ahead and get it into that ball shape, and then you're going to pull it out of the bowl and stick it onto a piece of parchment paper. And then with your hands, you just pat it out and kind of go around and shape it into a circular loaf. At this point, after your dough is shaped, you can long ferment it. That's one of the benefits of sourdough. So you could stick this in the fridge, let it ferment for a few days, and then bake it. Other than that, sourdough discard is used to add a little more moisture to this dough and also just some flavor. So I do love adding the sourdough into this Irish soda bread for that. Once it's in that circular shape, I take a knife and just score the top of the dough with a cross section. It does get a little bit of a rise from the baking powder, the baking soda in this recipe, and so the score is kind of nice on top. You're going to stick it into a 400-degree preheated oven, and then after about 20 minutes, go ahead and take a little piece of foil and stick it on top if you feel like your soda bread is browning a little bit too quickly. And the whole total bake time for this is around 40 to 50 minutes. Now, it is baked at a higher temperature, and that is just because it is a really large loaf here. Look how beautiful that is when it comes out of the oven. You get that cross shape, you get this gorgeous Irish soda bread. The hardest part of this loaf, honestly, is just waiting for it to cool. It smells so good. It tastes delicious. You do want to let it cool before you slice it up, but you're going to love it.